Meeting is called to order at exactly 10:35. Public comment on non-agenda items.
I want to comment.
Okay.
I want to say that I do not know Dan Radden. I've never met the man.
Who?
But he is a business instructor who is in Florence.
Yes.
And he had 10 of the study abroad kids at his home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's,
And I just want to say that I think that that's unbelievable.
yes. We will make sure that Ryan and Kathy will make sure we send him a special note of thanks for that. Hmm? Okay.
I mean, and
Yeah.
he kept them till 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, not only did he have them as a courtesy,
Uh-huh.
he had them as family.
That's wonderful. I mean,
So
that-
I just want to
right.
say
Okay.
that
Well, we will make sure to thank him for that.
He's a violist too.
Okay.
he's what?
A violist.
I don't even know what that
He's a
is.
what?
Violist.
We set the Renaissance
Oh.
man of the Renaissance.
Viola. I didn't know that. Okay.
How do you call somebody who plays the viola? A viola? A violist? What do you say, a viola or viola? Viola. But the player is a violist.
Both, right?
Viola.
Viola.
In Italian.
No.
What is it in Italian?
I don't know. Viola.
All right, okay. Approval of,
How's that for?
let's move on. Next item, approval of agenda. Any question on the agenda? Reordering? No, everything is fine? All right, okay. Review of meeting notes of October 28, 2015. Okay. Any feedback? Everything is okay with it? Okay, so let's move on to the next item, then information items, president's updates. Well, I'm glad to report that we have a final list of 50 faculty positions that we will be hiring next year. And I would like to thank the faculty senate, and administration for working closely together to come up with the list of 50 positions to be filled for next year. And I did mention it to the Faculty Prioritization Committee, and I will say it one more time here. This is a huge number of faculty that we will be hiring, and Dr. Miller is going to be working very hard to figure out how we're going to pay the faculty, because I don't think that we can afford all those positions, right? We can or we cannot? We have to, but
I'm just going to say we have to.
We
afford
have
it,
to.
So we'll figure out a way.
we'll figure out a way.
Figure it out.
All right, but I want to thank everybody for the very collegial atmosphere in which we got the work done. Enrollment for spring semester is looking very good. We are currently at about 77% capacity, and we still have about 6 more weeks of registration going, and we're already at 77% capacity. So we are looking forward to a great spring semester. And I want to thank the Senate one more time for also giving us their final okay on the reorganization of the schools into divisions, and we're looking forward to informing the board of all the new divisions or the old divisions, or whichever expression you would want to use. And then we will proceed before the end of the year, hopefully, with the help of HR, we will be proceeding with the hiring of the permanent deans for all those positions, okay? And we will be conducting national searches for all those positions. We will make sure that HR has those positions flown in national educationally related newspapers, and we will also outreach to all diverse groups that we are aware of. And we will do the same thing for the faculty positions. And I will encourage all of you, if you can, to please attend the job fair at the LAX Hilton in January. I believe it is on the 23rd of January. 16th?
No, 30th.
30th of January, okay. So, all right. And this will conclude my update. Shared governance accreditation work group recommendations, and who's making that presentation?
Sure.
Ryan?
So we had another shared governance accreditation work group, and one of the concepts was relooking at the board policy and administrative procedures under 3000. The Senate has already started looking at that, and they had some recommended languages. So we wanted to bring it here and just let the other groups, the classified and the management groups, know that we're going to be sending those out for those who were at the shared governance work group. You heard the conversation. Stephanie, do you want to kind of describe the changes?
Sure. The specific changes to, so we have one BP that's about shared governance overall, and then we have separate APs that apply to the different constituency groups. And so the Academic Senate has been reviewing the one that's specifically for the faculty's role in shared governance, and specifically adding language that when the board or the administration choose to go in a different direction than what the faculty have recommended on one of the 10+1 items, that they have to provide a written response. So we're adding that specific. That's been our
Could you
recommendation.
say it one more time, please?
That when the board or the administration choose to go a different path than the recommendation on a 10+1 item from the faculty, that the board or the administration will provide a written response.
That's in Title V already, so why do we have to, it's
So-
already there. It is part of Title V and that
So
code.
yes, and it didn't happen in the past, and so most other colleges, we've reviewed several of the policies from other colleges, and they have that
Okay,
language.
no problem.
And so it's just a
Okay, yeah, no, I
conflict.
understand. But you've received written.
Because we
Just-
requested it, yes, on the reorganization, that was great, and that helped
Yeah.
a lot.
No, it has to be requested. It has to be requested.
Right.
It has to be requested. You requested and you got it, right?
Yes, this time, yes. That was great, thank you.
All right.
And it helped, it helped a lot to be able to
Okay.
give the
No,
details.
no, I understand. So who will be working on making that happen?
So we're going to be sending out those APs to the other organizations to make sure that they don't have any other suggested changes,
Okay.
and then it will come back here to College Council. In addition, Stephanie and I lead up a team that's looking at the AP related to College Council, and we'll be looking at the administrative procedures related to this committee, and then bring back the
Right.
recommendations here as well. The goal would be that we would have revised APs sometime in spring that would match the changes that we want to see in our shared governance structure.
Okay. Any other comment on that?
Anything else on accreditation?
Okay. All right. The third item then, completion commitment statement.
Oh, that's me. Hi,
Yes,
everyone.
Cynthia?
Hello. I will be emailing you all a statement. If you've noticed, there's banners that say PCC complete. And this is to promote a new procedure that the College Council passed last year, which allows students who have 1 to 3 classes left to complete their degree to get early priority registration. And we just want to promote this with students so that they're aware. So we created a webpage, we're putting up banners, and at the next College Council, I'll send you a statement that we can all vote on as a resolution, and then we can just show our college is behind this effort to help students take advantage of this procedure that we all changed last year.
All right. Judy?
Is it possible to change that to 4 classes? That could be done in one semester, and they could be done and out in one semester.
I think it can be, yeah.
Sure.
It can be done in one
I
semester.
can propose the procedural change. It's just
4
the
classes
change
instead
to
of 3.
call the priority registration procedure.
It's in the procedure.
It says 1 to 3 classes in the procedure, but we'd like to change it to 1 to 4 classes.
I'm looking at the Senate, this is a 10 plus 1.
So you can take it under advisement.
When does that need to be changed?
We start fall applications
Mhm.
for 2016 tomorrow.
So could we proceed with the 3 and then bring it back through so that next time we could possibly do 4, so that way it doesn't pull out the students that are.
Right.
So that will be in the catalog. That's how it is going to be listed in the catalog?
Well, the
For catalog rights?
procedure now
Mm.
says 1 to 3 classes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So when you make the new change, you will have to put it in the catalog, right?
The
Then
16, 17.
Then the students will come in under 16, 17. They know that because you go by the catalog rights that students have when they
Yes.
come to the college, right?
Yep.
When's
So-
the catalog published?
The catalog copy is collected by February. And we go to print in late March.
But what if we have the electronic catalog? Can we make the changes anytime during the year?
Yeah. Mhm.
How does that impact catalog rights of students?
We have to have the catalog copy in place, either
Uh-huh.
electronically or in print,
Okay.
by the time students begin to register for fall, which will be in April.
And so that's what they will go through. Even if the
Yes.
changes happen during the year, they are bound by
Right.
okay.
And the way students get their proof that they only have these 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 classes left is they have to go through a grad check process.
Okay.
So we can verify.
So then our understanding is that for this time, we will stay with 3, but that you will review
Work
it
with
in the
the
Senate and then make a recommendation to take it to 4 for next year. Huh? Is that okay, Julie?
I just think it would help the students. That's the only reason I'm saying it, because
Okay.
if they only have 3 unit classes, that could
Mhm.
easily be done in one semester. Even
Right.
if there's a 4 or 5 unit class,
Mhm.
it could still be done in one semester.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. All right.
Just to clarify, is there a unit cap?
We do not specify a unit cap
So
in
they
the,
could take 4 or 5 unit courses?
correct.
After 17 units, don't they have to?
Well, there is a unit cap in general. It's 19.5.
So would that apply to this?
Yes.
But that is waived by the counselors, right?
Well, students submit a petition for
Right.
review. If they have a low GPA, then if we don't allow them to
Mhm.
take over the cap.
What would you call a low GPA?
2.3,
Okay.
anything that will potentially slip the student to a 2.0 or below.
But I think we need to probably put a number there because otherwise
It's
we will just go by.
19.5 units is the cap for all students.
Okay. No, but the GPA part you said.
Oh,
That-
yeah,
that's
they
what-
must submit a petition for review if they want to take above that number.
But you said that that decision is based on the student's GPA.
When I was reviewing petitions and making decisions, that's one of the criteria I looked at.
So then you could go to one counselor and have your 19.5 unit
No.
waived, and then you go to somebody else who said, no, I won't waive it.
Counselors don't waive that.
Okay,
That's reviewed by the Dean of A&R.
okay, all right.
Just curious, how many additional students would be getting priority registration if we went from 3 classes to 4 classes?
You know, the process now, not a lot of students know about it, so they're not taking advantage of it. That's why we're publicizing it. So we think if more students knew about it, they would submit for a grad petition, even if they think, I'm 2 semesters away from graduating.
Mhm.
I think Julie's question was hazarding a guess as to how many that.
20.
Mm,
Not that
okay.
many students have taken advantage of it.
All right.
I would say 20.
No, I was trying to think of the impact to our priority registration.
Yeah.
How many more students would have priority and just what that would affect,
Mhm.
pushing everybody else back.
Cynthia, is there a reason why we're using classes and not units?
I think because when the counselors were reviewing grant petitions, they were specifying which classes students needed, and we kept track on an Excel spreadsheet. And at one point, we were manually adding students to the classes they needed so they could get out.
Okay.
Because we have 7,000 students with 60 or more units here at PCC. And so we were identifying which courses they needed, not how many units they
Okay.
needed.
Okay. Anything else on completion commitment statement? So we move on to section 5 for discussion and consultation. Number 1, student equity plan final draft for approval before it goes to the board.
Hey
Right,
everyone.
Cynthia?
Hi everyone, I'm back with the student equity plan. I want to say thank you to the Academic Senate for hosting me at their meetings, the past 3 Senate meetings to discuss this. I also appreciate the classified staff sending me questions, because this was also discussed at their constituent meeting. And I'm here for the approval of the College Council. So we have our full plan, and it must be presented to the Board of Trustees for their approval as well on December 9th, and it's due to the Chancellor's Office December 18th.
I have, if it is approved by this body, I have asked Dr. Olivo to write an executive summary of this plan that we will also attach to the board, the packet that goes to the board on Friday, so that they will have an understanding of what it is about. And they all know what it is, but at least they will also have a brief explanation of what we have in this plan.
Can I move that we?
Okay, you want, okay, a motion to approve, yes. A second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Plan approved unanimously.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
The next one is the technology survey for approval.
This one's actually going to be quick. I think we're going to take it back to you guys and launch this in spring.
Okay.
In working with Crystal, she thinks she can make this a little bit shorter by doing some smart technology and making sure the staff questions go to staff and vice versa, so that
Okay.
there aren't duplicate questions. So with that being said, I'll send out a new draft, but
Okay.
I still would like any recommendations anyone has in the broader context now, and if you have any specific comments, as I know Julie does, I'll take them in writing.
That's very
Not Julie, yeah, different Julie.
Very, very well.
Yes.
Well, I sent you 2 suggestions.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if, and I appreciate your response. The one is, are people going to be alarmed by asking about what they use at home? And so maybe there should be some kind of statement.
So what I'll say is that the questions, for the most part, Leslie helped us get some of the questions from the EDUCAUSE survey. And the questions about technology use at home are more to gauge people's comfort level with technology that we might be able to implement. So maybe at work you don't use a lot of technology, but at home you do. That would give us an indication that we could grow in that area. The concern that Jim raised via email to me is, would people think we are being intrusive by asking about technology use at home?
And what
And I'm open to any suggestions, right, wrong, or indifferent on that.
Well, maybe instead of saying at home, but just what devices are you comfortable with, or do you use on a regular basis? What types of internet
Generally.
use do you use?
Generally?
Yeah,
Just rate the comfort level of the following technologies,
yeah, something like that.
and then do a Likert scale, but not with numbers, with descriptors.
Okay.
I-
The only
I
issue with
just-
that is that will actually make the survey longer, because we were asking about comfort level with producing content, consuming content, and communication. I'll figure something out.
I just worried that people would get that and then say, I'm not doing this, you know. And then the other concern I raised, which is a really good answer and brings up maybe a different issue, but the issue of reaching adjunct faculty through our campus email, and some will just refuse to use it, even though I tell them I'm only sending to campus email.
So this actually came up at our shared governance meeting when we were talking about the shared governance survey, is that not all adjuncts use the PCC email. How would we coordinate this? I don't think we had a set solution for that. I know Crystal has some ideas. You know, with the Modern Think, it was a random sample. You know, we can try to figure something out, but the end-all answer is when you have a large group of adjunct faculty not using the primary means for communication from the college, you are going to get a less response rate. And at some level, we just have to be accepting of that. We can try our best to make sure that we get increased responses, and if anyone has any ideas on how to do that, we can certainly work that out, drop things off in mailboxes, that type of thing. I do not want to do this paper-based. It just makes things complicated, but you know,
Well,
sign the cards.
But it's also a broader, ongoing problem that,
Yes.
that the campus should address.
Yes, absolutely.
And this kind of points that out.
Yeah, and it was pointed out in a different survey as well.
Stephanie?
On number 25, you should put a time, like how reliable is Wi-Fi access at PCC currently or something, because
Currently.
then otherwise you're gonna get
Good point.
like a.
Yeah, because yesterday might have been a little bit different, literally. At this point in time, right now, as you are taking
Today.
this survey,
Right, as you're taking a certain.
like we somehow, if maybe a programmer can put in the clock and the date for at this moment.
Dates.
Am I being mocked?
No, I'm actually, it is changing that rapidly, so I'm completely agreeing with you.
For number 45, is that taken directly from what we have for students? What is your race/ethnicity?
Yes, and Crystal and I talked about
There's a
this.
little bit of a problem with this.
Yes,
For one, the easiest one is Asian, it should have been Asian Filipino. Right? Because if you're putting Asian in front of all the others, Asian, Indian, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Laotian, Cambodian, Vietnamese,
Okay.
and so on. So you should put Asian there as well, Asian
Good catch.
Filipino. And then you put Asian other. Now, if you belong to the other, you're going to be upset. That other, since we're being so specific with all those people, right? You've left out Hmong, Pakistani, Sri Lankan, Indonesian, Malaysian, Papua,
Yes.
New Guinea, Bangladeshi, Burmese, Thai,
not to
and
mention Guamian, Armenian. I mean, the committee itself, and Jeff can speak to this, I think, really wanted to go detailed.
yeah.
You're going to end up with one or two responses
I-
in each of these categories.
I understand, but
I'd rather condense them.
but then in that case, why keep the others the way it is? Because
I
for the
agree.
students it's different.
I
For
agree.
the students it's different because we want to make sure that we serve the students. We want to make sure that we bridge that gap, the achievement gap, based on ethnicity and so on. But for this is just, what difference will it make on technology if you are a college employee of Hmong origin or a college employee of Korean origin?
I agree.
Would you require a different kind of computer?
Probably not.
All right, so that's why I mean you have to either be all inclusive or very general.
I would rather go general.
That is something that you can figure out. I mean, the group can make a recommendation, but
Why don't we use the same that we use for, like, our iPads and every other reporting we do?
This is what we do with iPads
But
now.
it doesn't say Asian Chinese.
It's breakdown categories, but yes.
okay. Anything else?
So if you have any other questions
Okay.
or comments, just
All
send them
right.
to me. I'll bring it back next meeting.
Next meeting in January, right?
Yep.
Okay. Announcements. Any announcements around the table? Yes, Dr. Oliver?
As I mentioned briefly, we are accepting applications for fall 2016 starting tomorrow. So please let any of your children or family members or neighbors know that they should start applying starting tomorrow. We're out at all the local high schools and high schools in our service area, and those who send us lots of students starting tomorrow.
Okay. Stephanie?
We have an accreditation forum tomorrow. We have two, one at noon and one at 5.
Okay.
To update the campus community on the work that has been completed up to this point on the recommendations.
All right. More announcements? Wow, well, good announcement coming over there from Julio. All right, next College Council meeting is on Thursday, January 28th, 2016 in G1, so we are being upgraded to a better room. And anything else?
Maybe one that has heat, I think that's all we need is heat.
He, who is in charge of
That
Dr.
room
Miller?
can get pretty toasty, I think we're good.
Good.
Dr. Miller will make sure that we get heat next
Good.
time.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, so it is cold.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Oh my,
Second?
it's cold.
All in favor? All right, so I guess we are adjourned?
Just
No.
quickly, what time is that meeting?
We don't want you to know the time. It's a secret. Not that the meeting is adjourned, we don't know.
Because the invitation was 10, but then we were meeting at 10:30.
Well, we will make sure that we get to that. Marina? What time is the meeting? 10. 10 o'clock.